You know guys, before I start today's video, I got something very important to address. Something that was going on Twitter earlier today. And look, whether or not a lot of you guys saw this, it is something that is affecting us this holiday season. Just a lot of cringy, clownish BS on the timeline, and of course, I am talking about Charlie Intel's tweet saying thank you for the holiday package at Call of Duty, and as you can see here, Charlie Intel received a fucking candle, some notes, some ornaments, some mittens, some fucking M&Ms, and a fucking apron. Yeah, that was the buzz on Twitter, guys. If you don't follow the Scatmaster on Twitter, I highly suggest you do. It's Fooly with 2 Y's. We do a lot of banter over there. A lot of people get upset with the Scatmaster on Twitter as well, so it's a fun time everywhere, guys. But today, the group of people that I'm going to offend today is not the reverse boosters, okay? We already dealt with them. They're those guys, the bottom of the bottom, but there is another group that are just as, if not even more annoying. And that is, of course, the people who scream and cry about aim assist versus mouse and keyboard. No matter which side you're on, we got some things to say. Now, this comes out a couple of days ago from this guy named the Godric or some shit like that. He says, your 22 kill streak can end by a person sitting in a stairwell silent as a rat with god-level artificial reaction time and tracking that can only be comparable to AIMBOT. I love it. And I'm not gonna post this shitcan POV here on the channel. He seems like the type, if he's complaining and crying about this, he seems like the type to cry and go, "Oh, Fooly, that's my gameplay you're using without my permission." Shut the fuck up, fat bitch. But you got people like Charlie Intel even saying, this is quite simply a skill issue on your part, buddy. Now, if Charlie Intel were to tell me I have a skill issue, that is like, that's offensive. I'm not gonna lie, like Charlie Intel, I would imagine, just based on the way he tweets and the way he loves Call of Duty and Activision and Bobby Cosby's gooch, I mean, this guy's probably a fucking pisser as well, so that's not really the best sign. But guys, there is more, there is more. Now, this one comes out from a guy named BboyBrockley. He says, and some people still defend aim assist. This is the same as aimbot. And again, I mean, I'm not gonna really post his clip, but he jumps off of some fucking building with a fucking pistol, challenging a guy with an LMG. Obviously, he gets his fucking wop torn apart, and then instead of looking back on his dog shit play, he blames aim assist. Now, before the mouse and keyboard players start getting upset with the Scatmaster, and even for some of you guys that are subscribed to me, I know there's some of you guys out there that really dislike aim assist and you want me to talk about it. I haven't talked about this because I just don't find it interesting. I think it's a boring, tired ass conversation that a lot of people bicker over. People cry on both sides. But I will say this to the mouse and keyboard players, don't worry, the Scatmaster has smoke for all sides. First things first, aim assist on controller, since 2019 specifically, is horrendously abused. It is horrendously strong. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, as a controller player myself, if my commentating ass can do well in this game, and whether or not you want to thank aim assist for that, I don't really give a fuck. If the Scatmaster's doing well, there's a problem, okay? There's a serious problem. Either everybody else is a fucking shit can, which, you know, some people are, and, you know, we're gonna talk about a specific group that is not even in the conversation because they spend their time fucking shooting at fucking Stephen Hawking. But even myself, I will admit right now, aim assist is extremely strong. Just point blank period, there's no way around it, but it is not something that should be removed entirely. If anything, it should be decreased by quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, if I were to put a percentage on it, I would say like a 70% decrease is honestly where I would put it at. Don't get me wrong, playing Call of Duty nowadays is easy as fuck regardless, just because they catered this game to fucking noobs. Thank you, Joe Seacott, for that. So even without aim assist, this game is a walk in the park. But when you have aim assist as strong as it is, like there are some kills I get and I'm like, oh good god, man, like that was not happening years and years ago, I'll tell you that much right now. And that is as much as I'll say about aim assist. Like, it doesn't need to be completely removed. I think people are faded for even insinuating that. It's absolutely not the way it should be. Like, don't get me wrong, it is strong as fuck, but Call of Duty has always been a controller game. I'm sorry if you disagree. I'm sorry to the mouse and keyboarders that are gonna start crying in the comments or on Twitter. It just comes with the territory, okay? You chose to be on that input. This is what you're choosing to subject yourself to. And while I don't think it needs to be removed, I do think like a 70 to 75% decrease in strength would actually be like a sweet spot in the middle. But there is something else that needs to be said about this, guys. Yes, I think aim assist is strong. Yes, I think it needs to be nerfed. But the mouse and keyboard community, I'm sorry, you're gonna get upset to hear this part now. You guys are gassing this shit too much, man. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you guys need to shut the flying fuck up. Holy shit. Like the 2 screenshots that I put in here earlier, those are examples of people that just need to shut the fuck up, honestly. You made a terrible dog shit play, it happens, okay? Like, you're playing the new era of Call of Duty, the fucking dark ages of COD, where footsteps are extremely high, where pre-aiming somebody is obviously gonna be the advantageous position, and yeah, the movement, it could look cool, you could do all these flashy things, but at the very end of the day, this game was literally built to sustain the community of noobs who choose to play like little bitches sitting in corners posted up with LMGs. And when you make a dog shit play against them and get punished because of the way of the game, and you blame aim assist instead, you sound like a dorky fucking goofball, okay? Now, even this Godric kid from earlier, he says, my ability to go viral for aim assist baiting needs to be studied. This is beautiful. Like, this is the type of thing that happens with all sorts of goofball sub-communities within the Call of Duty community, like the movement players, like those guys are fucking annoying. The TikTokers, they're certainly fucking annoying. The reverse boosting community, I mean, I had a bunch of clowns crying all over Twitter for the last like 24, 48 hours now by this point. And now the controller versus mouse and keyboard on both sides, honestly, just bickering and crying and just all this absolute bullshit. Let's not forget, mouse and keyboard players, you guys are blessed with something that controller players would never, ever, ever have in a million years. It's the ability to use your entire arm and adjust your recoil however the fuck you want. Let's not sugarcoat this, okay? Like, controlling recoil on a controller, so long as you're not using a Cronus Zen like a lot of these other virgins, is far more difficult to control than when you're on mouse and keyboard. I've seen the clips. I've seen some of my own homies do it and admit it. Now, I'm not gonna say which side is the better side, but when you guys start crying about aim assist on Twitter, it is for the most obvious reason ever. Yes, you guys have been crying about this for the last 3-4 years. Yes, we all heard you out. There is some battles, people on controller saying they're better than you guys saying you're better than the people on controller, but after 4 years, I think it's obvious what the case is. Just take this guy as the example. Makes a dog shit play, it happens. Blames aim assist because he's actually frustrated and he actually thinks that's the sole reason for him dying. And when people flame the absolute monkey shit out of him, now he wants to change the narrative and talk about, oh well, I was just baiting you guys, look how funny you guys are in the comments crying, or some stupid shit like that. It's like the whole chain feeds thing from Cold War. Oh, I was reverse boosting, but only to bring awareness. Shut the fuck up, man. Like, this shit is so shameless sometimes with some of these sub-communities, man. I even checked out this guy's channel for all that traction and all that baiting that he was doing. Not even 1,000 subscribers, bro. Oh, Jesus. I mean, this happened yesterday on Twitter with the reverse boosters too, guys. Like, there is a way to grow as a content creator, and I'm not gonna be the one to say how to do it, okay? Because I do it wrong. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not doing it the right way. But there is an even worse way than the way the Scadmaster is doing it. And some of these sub-communities, man, they wonder why they're not taken seriously. So once again, guys, when it comes to aim assist versus mouse and keyboard, yes, aim assist is an issue. Controller is not an issue, okay? So that is something else that needs to be talked about, is the fact that you pair controller and aim assist in the same category because they are one with the other. Meanwhile, you forget there was a time where aim assist was not that strong on controller. And also, let's not forget that back in the day, the mouse and keyboard community on Call of Duty was an extreme minority compared to what it is nowadays. And that's because the support for mouse and keyboard is actually increased. So on the contrary, where people think that mouse and keyboard players have just been abandoned because of how strong aim assist is on controllers, choose your battles, I understand. There's only so much you could possibly say against aim assist. It's a very clear cut Aim assist is strong. Does it need to be removed? No. Should we be talking to the developers about it and have some of them communicate it at least a little bit? Yes. Does it still need to be adjusted? Yes. And if you know this is such a terrible, horrible issue, and actually, you know what? I want to give a quick shout out to the people that cry in the comment section, because we're going to use the logic that they have for me. People say I complain about the game so much, so why do I keep playing? We're going to apply that logic to the mouse and keyboard players. If you hate aim assist this much, if you cannot stand a controller player this much, then get on a controller and play the game that way. If not, don't play. And before people start calling me a fucking aim assist abuser on controller, or they want to doubt the Scatmaster skills for using a controller on COD, do yourself a favor, just shut the fuck up. No, I don't think about mouse and keyboard players when they kill me, even though they can use their entire fucking arm, 0 recoil at all times, million quadrillion FOV with 1,000 sensitivity. I don't complain about it because I don't think about it because I don't give a fuck about it. Now, if I were on the other side and I was a mouse and keyboard player and I was going against aim assist controllers, yeah, I'd probably get annoyed, but the extent of me crying would only go so far, I'll tell you that much right now. Controller players that bag on all of the mouse and keyboard players as well, you guys need to shut up as well, okay? You're just not making anything better, you're just making more people annoyed, and then they go and bait, quote unquote, on Twitter, and then they see 0 growth out of it. It's just a waste of time, do you understand? Like, the whole conversation, the whole argument is just boring, it's tired, it's just not worth crying over. Aim assist should absolutely be toned down because it is ridiculously powerful. And if you don't think it's powerful at all, you're faded. If you think aim assist needs to be completely removed and all controller players have aimbot, you're fucking faded as well. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. What are your thoughts on aim assist on controller versus mouse and keyboard? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.